as the definition says, implies mere selection of things. Here the arrangement does not matter. So it does not matter which thing or which person is coming first and which is coming second. I'll explain you with an example so that it is more clear. I have 4 fruits. I have to choose 4 fruits out of 6 given fruits. Now, which fruits do I have? I have mango, apple, orange, banana, grapes and watermelon to make a fruit salad. In how many ways can I do so? Now imagine that I like these 4 fruits. I like mango, I like apple, I like grapes and I like orange. So I don't like watermelon and banana. So I've chosen these 4 fruits out of the given 6 to make a fruit salad. So I have a container here. Okay, this is my container and I put these fruits here. All these 4 fruits I'm putting in this container. Now, will it matter that I put mango first or apple first? Or I put grapes first, then apple, then mango? No, right? Because in the end, this fruit salad has everything mixed up and I will have, in any case, I will have only these 4 fruits. It does not matter I put mango in the first place and apple in the second, or I put mango in the second place and apple in the first place. It will not make a difference. So this is an example of combinations where it does not matter that which item I am choosing first. So how do we write this? I have 6 fruits to choose from. I will write C here because the arrangement does not matter. And how many do I have to choose? 4. Remember the case when we wrote P here? In those cases arrangement mattered. Like in that case it will matter if I put mango first and apple later and then grapes and orange. So arrangement, in what sense I am picking up, in what sequence I am picking up these fruits will matter, but here it does not matter. So the answer is 6C4. How do we write 6C4? I write 6 factorial by 4 factorial here, the number which occurs here, multiplied by 6 minus 4 factorial. So this will be 6 factorial by 4 factorial into 2 factorial, which is nothing but 15 when you solve this. So the general formula for combination is, out of n things I have to choose r things. Then in how many ways can I do so? N factorial by r factorial into n minus r factorial. So you just have to memorize this formula because it's a very important formula here. Okay, so we'll solve some more questions on combinations so that you have a good idea of what is the difference between a permutation and combination and how do we make out. So we have the first practice question here. There are 10 students studying in a class, out of which 2 need to be chosen as monitors. In how many ways can this be achieved? Okay, so we have 10 students. So let me write S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, S6, S7, S8, S9 and S10 are the 10 students. I have to choose any 2. So for example, I have made up my mind that I want to choose student number 5 and student number 8. I will choose S5 and S8 as the monitors in class. Now does it matter that I call S8 first and S5 later, or S5 first and S8 later? No. Why? Because at the end of the day both of them are the monitors. I will have both of them. It does not matter who I am choosing first and who I am choosing later. Okay, in the permutations question we had positions. We had a head, if you remember, and we had a deputy head. Now here it mattered. If I call S5 first, I will make him the head. If I call S8 later, I will make him the deputy head. Okay, but here we have no positions. We don't have a head, we don't have a deputy head, we just have monitors, and both of them are at the same position, so it will not matter. So what will be the answer in this case? I have 10 students. C, because it does not matter who I call first and who I call second, and 2. So this is nothing but 10 factorial by 8 factorial, which is nothing but 10 minus 2 factorial multiplied by 2 factorial. So this gives me 45 ways. Another simpler way of solving this 10C2, if you don't want to go into this formula, is you write 10 into 9. You go as far as the digit mentioned here. Here I have 2, so I'll just go 1, which is 10, and 2, the second digit, which is 9, and divided by 1.2. I'll get 45. Okay, if I had, for example, just an example, if I had 10C4, I will go 10 into 9 into 8 into 7. I have 4 digits on the numerator because I had 4 here, and in the denominator I will start from 1 and I'll multiply till the number here, which is 4. 1, 2 into 3 into 4. This will be my answer. Okay, so this is just a memory tool which you can remember. Let's take another question here. 5 students participated in a competition. There will be 2 winners. Find the number of ways the awards can be distributed in the following cases. Here the first case is the 2 awards are same. Now this is exactly same as the previous question. I have 5 students, I want to select 2. I will write just 5C2. Why C? Because the awards are same. It does not matter whom I call first, whom I call second. Both of them are going to get the same award. So what is the answer? 5 into 4 divided by 1 into 2, which is 10 ways. Okay, so this is the answer to the first case. Let's take the second case. The first award is $50, and the second one is worth $30. Now here it matters who comes first and who comes second, because now I have put a monetary award here. So what I'll do here is I'll write 5C2. Okay, here I've made the selection. I've already selected those 2 students who will occur here. Okay, so for example I had S1, S2, S3, S4 and S5. By 5C2 I've already made up my mind that I'm going to call S2 and S5 here. 5C2 means that I've just made the selection. I will call these 2 people on stage, but I have not arranged them. I do not know whether I will call S2 first or I will call S5 first. So there are only 2 possibilities. Either I will call S2 first and then S5, or I will call S5 first and then I will call S2. So I have just these 2 possibilities, this way or this way. So I will multiply this 5C2 by 2 factorial, which will give me the number of ways. This will be 20 ways. Okay, let's solve the same question in another way. This is nothing but a question on permutations actually, because here the order in which you select matters. So how can I write? I can simply write 5P2. Why P? Because here arrangement matters. Who I am calling first will matter to me. So I can simply write 5P2. This will give me what? 5 factorial by 5 minus 2 factorial. This is the formula we discussed before. So I have 5 factorial by 3 factorial, which is nothing but 5 into 4 or 20 ways. So I have the same answer. Here also I got 20, here also I got 20. Okay, or in other words, I have these two spaces to be filled up. I have 5 ways to fill this first space and 4 ways to fill this second space. So 5 into 4, again it is 20. This is by the fundamental principle of counting, FC, fundamental principle of counting, also gives me the same answer. So I've solved the same question in 3 ways. Okay, so that you just have more clarity on how this is being done. Let's try another question. In a class there are 6 boys and 4 girls. In how many ways can a committee of 3 be formed such that there is at least one girl? I have at least one girl. Okay, so I'll solve this question also in 2 ways. So I'll draw a line here. Sorry. Okay, I'll draw a line here. Now I need at least one girl and a committee of 3. So I can either have one girl and I can have 2 boys, or I can have 2 girls and 1 boy, or I can have 3 girls. So this is or either of these case. How many ways to do this? I have to select one girl out of 4. So I'll do 4C1 into, I have to select 2 boys out of 6 boys into 6C2. For the second case I have 4C2 into 6C1, and for this third case I just have 4C3. Now why are we writing C here? You need to pay attention. Why is this C here? We have C because either I'll select the girl first and then the boy, or the boy first and then the girl. In either case I will have the same set, so it does not make a difference whether I call the girl first or the boy first. Or in this case, if I have 2 girls, it does not matter which girl I am calling up on stage or selecting first. It does not make a difference. At the end of the day, both are going to be in the same committee and there is no position or there is no hierarchy. Both of them will be at the same position. So that is why I am using C. So what is the answer here? I have 4C1 into 6C2 plus 4C2 into 6C1 plus 4C3. So I have this as the answer. You can calculate this at your places because it's not very difficult to solve this. Now let's solve this the second way. Okay, now I need at least one girl. Okay, so let's assume that I do not take a girl. I take 0 girl and 3 boys. Okay, so in how many ways can this be done? This can be done in 6C3. 6 are the total number of boys, 3 I need to select for the committee because the committee of 3 needs to be formed. So I have taken here 0 girl and all 3 boys. What are the total number of ways to select a committee of 3? Total number of ways, I have 6 plus 4, 10 students. Okay, out of these 10 students I need to select 3. So this can be done in how many ways? 10C3. But this 10C3 also includes cases when I have 0 girls. So if I subtract these cases which give me when no girl is selected from this total number of cases, I will get the cases where at least one girl is selected. So what will be the answer in this case? It will be 10C3, the total number of ways to select a committee of 3, minus 6C3, because this gives me the cases when no girl is selected. When no girl is selected, and this is equal to the cases where at least one girl is there in the committee. At least one girl is there. So when you solve this 10c3 minus 6c3 and this, in which we broke down into the different cases, you'll find that the answer to both these is the same. Just try it out at your places and you'll find that the answer is same. So you can use either of the two logics. Let's have another question here. In a party there were 45 handshakes. If it is known that every person shook hands with every other person in the party just once, then how many people were present in that party? So we have 45 handshakes in the party. We want to know what were the number of people together. So in handshakes, it does not matter if I shake hands with you or you shake my hand. So if I have two persons A, B, if A is shaking hand with B or B is shaking hand with A, both of these may mean the same thing, because it takes two people to do a handshake. So that is why let's assume that there were n people in the party, and how many are required to do a handshake? Two people are required for a handshake. So out of this n, I will write C here, because here also arrangement or selection does not matter. If A shakes hand with B or B shakes hand with A, it does not matter. So NC2 is given to be 45, the total number of handshakes in the party. What is NC2? I can write n into n minus 1. I am using the shortcut here, which I explained 2 questions back. N into n minus 1 divided by 1 into 2, this is NC2, is equal to 45. So I have a quadratic equation here which says n square minus n minus 90 is equal to 0. So I'll have n square minus 10n plus n minus 90 is equal to 0. When you solve this quadratic equation, I'm running out of space here. So I will have n into n minus 10 plus 9 into, here I will have 9n plus 9n. That is why minus 10n plus 9n will give me minus n, plus 9 into n minus 10 is equal to 0. So from here I will have n either is equal to 10 or n is equal to minus 9. But this cannot be the case because number of people cannot be negative. So n is equal to 10 is the answer. So there were 10 people who were present in the party. This is also a very typical kind and it's generally asked. Let's move to this question number 5. Find the number of diagonals in an octagon. How many triangles can be formed using the 8 points? So octagon has 8 vertices, as we know. Okay. And how many points do we need to make a line? That is 2 points. Because I have, let's say, a point here A and I have a point here B. A and B. I just need 2 points and I can make a line. So these are the 2 points. So using these 8 vertices, if I have 8 points, okay, I can draw 8 points. So how many lines can I draw? I can draw 8C2. Why C here again? Because here the line segment AB, or I represented it as BA. Both these line segments mean the same thing, which is this line segment. So here also arrangement does not matter. Whether I call it as AB or I call it as BA, it will not matter. So that is why I am writing 8. I am writing C here. 8 are the total number of points. 2 points are needed to make a line. So I have 8C2 number of lines. So this is nothing but 8 into 7 divided by 1 into 2 or 28 lines, or better word to use is line segments. But out of these 28 line segments, I've also counted the number of sides of the octagon. This will also have the sides. For example, this is the side of an octagon. I'm just drawing a random octagon. So this side is also included. What is a diagonal? Which joins not the adjacent vertices, but you leave one vertex in the middle. For example, this would be a diagonal, or this would be a diagonal, or this would be a diagonal, but this is not a diagonal, this is a side. So from this 28 line segments, 8 line segments are actually the sides of the octagon. These 8 line segments are actually the sides of the octagon. So what are the number of diagonals? I will do 28 minus 8. The number of sides of the octagon is equal to 20 diagonals. Okay, if you had problem understanding this, let's take a simpler case. Let's say if we had a rectangle. Okay, rectangle has how many points? 4 points. So this is a rectangle. I have this A, B, C and D, and this is the entire number of lines that can be drawn using these 4 points. There is no other line which can be drawn using these, joining any of these 4 points A, B, C and D. So if I do 4C2, this is how much? 6. You can calculate. And how many lines do I have here? I have one line, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth and the sixth. So this is true that 4C2 gives me the total number of lines that can be drawn using 4 points. But out of these 6 lines, I have 4 lines which are the sides of the rectangle, which is AB, BC, CD and DA. So these 4 are the sides. So how many diagonals do I have? The total number of lines minus the total number of sides. 4 lines, 6 lines minus 4 sides, which gives me 2 diagonals. This is the same thing we've done here with octagon. 8C2, total number of lines, minus 8 line segments, which are nothing but the sides here, and I get 20 diagonals. So for the simpler case, it was just to make you understand in case you did not understand octagon directly. I hope it is now clear. Now, how many triangles can be formed using these 8 points? We all know that let's say in this rectangle only, none of the 3 points are collinear. What is collinearity? If 3 points lie in the same line, that is what we call as the points are collinear. So I have, like, let's say these 3 points. So these are collinear because all of them lie on the same line. But in an octagon, none of the 3 points will lie on the same line. As in the case of a rectangle, none of these 3 points lie on a straight line. So what are the total number of triangles that can be formed using 8 non-collinear points? 8 non-collinear points. I have 8 points. How many points do I need to make a rectangle? If you know that a triangle has 3 vertices. So I have A here, I have B here and I have C here. So out of these 8, I need 3 points to make a triangle. This is nothing but 8 into 7 into 6 divided by 3 into 2 into 1, which is 56 triangles can be drawn using these 8 points. So this is the answer to the second question here. I hope this is clear. A little bit of geometry, but easily solvable using permutation and combinations. Basically combinations here. Let's try another question here. How many straight lines that can be formed using 10 points, out of which no 3 are collinear? So they've given me 10 points. For example, let's say I'll take a simpler example. Before 10 points, let's take an example that I have 4 points. Just an example. So let's say I have A here, I have a point B here, I have C somewhere here, and D somewhere here. So you notice that none of these 3 points are collinear. No 3 points lie in the same line. Okay, so how many line segments can I draw? I can draw AB, I can draw BC, I can draw CD, I can draw AD, I can draw AC, I can draw BD. So in all I can draw 6 lines or line segments. What is a line? Line will extend in this direction. For example, this is the line, this is the direction of the line, this is the direction of another line. So I have 6 lines here. In other words, this is nothing but 4C2, which is 6 again. So when no 3 points are collinear, 10 points will give me how many lines? 10C2. This is 45. Easy to solve. Now we are given that 4 are collinear. Out of these 10 points, 4 are collinear. Let's take the simpler case first. Let's say I had these 3 points, A, I have B, I have C, and I have D. Now what you notice here is that these B, C and D lie in the same line. So these 3 points B, C and D are collinear. This is just the same question in a simpler form. I had 4 points with 3 collinear. Okay, so now tell me how many line segments can be formed, or how many lines can be formed. So lines is a better word to use here, not line segments, because line segments stop. If this is a line segment AB, this stops here. But line, if I say the line AB, this extends in both directions to infinity. So lines is a better word to use here. Okay, so coming back to the question, how many lines can be formed? I can have BC, I can have CD, but they are collinear, so this is the same direction. BC is not different from CD here because the direction is same. As I told you that lines extend to infinity. It will go to infinity here, it will go to infinity here. So this is the same line. So I have just one line here. Another line can be this. If I join A and B, this goes to infinity on both sides. Then I can have A and C. This also goes to infinity on all sides. And then I can have AD. This also goes to infinity on both sides. So how many line segments could I draw? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I could only draw 4 lines. Here I had 6 lines and this number has reduced to 4 in this case. Why is it so? Because I had 3 points which were collinear. So if we talk in terms of combinations using this formula, I had only 4 points, so I was easily able to calculate. But what if you have 10 points, like in the question here? You can't draw 10 points, make 4 collinear and then count the number of lines. So how do we solve here using this formula? I will consider here, let's say I had 4 points, so 4C2 is the number of lines that can be drawn, because I have 4 points and 2 points are needed to make a line. But I will subtract the number of lines that can be formed using these 3 points, because these 3 points are collinear. So I will do minus 3C2. So I subtracted all the lines which can be formed using B, C and D. So actually these were what lines? BC, CD and BD. These 3 lines I have deleted. 3C2 is actually 3. So, and these are the 3 lines. So I've deleted this line, basically this BD direction line I have deleted from here. But I need to add it once. I've deleted all these 3 lines, but all these 3 lines count for one line, which is nothing but BD. It extends to infinity on both sides. I subtracted all these 3 lines, but I'll add 1 because these 3 have reduced to 1. I reduced 3, I'll add 1. So this is the answer. If you solve it here, this will give you 6 minus 3 plus 1, which is 4, the same as we counted. So let's take the case with 10 points. I have 10 points, how many lines can be drawn if all were non-collinear? 10c2. But I have 4 points collinear, so I will write 4 here, minus, subtract the lines which will be formed using 2 points out of these 4 points, so minus 5c2, minus 4c2, but I will add 1 here, plus 1. Why? Because I will add at least one line in this direction, like I added here plus 1, because I will at least have one, I at least had one BD here. So this is the answer for this case. This gives me 10c2, which is 45, minus 4c2, which is 6, plus 1, or 40 lines. I hope this is clear. So in case you don't remember, just remember this formula, that you need to find the total number of lines, which is given by this. If all points were non-collinear, subtract the number of lines that can be formed using the collinear points, and add 1 plus 1. Don't forget this, because you will at least add once the line in that direction. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Okay, now we've done enough questions on permutation and combination, and I hope that you have some clarity on what permutation is. So permutation is arrangement plus selection. So I select things and I arrange things. In combination, I only select things. So to see it visually, permutation would be, let's say I have 3 balls, red, blue and green. So permutation would be an ordered list. So this list would be different from if I have blue first, then I have red, and then I have green. So this is a visual difference. These two cases are different here. But if I have to put all the balls in a bucket, it will not matter. What will matter is just what the 3 colors I have. So this is an unordered group or set, and this is an ordered group or set. This is the visual difference between permutation and combination. What is the difference in the formula? I have NCR is equal to NPR by R factorial. What was NCR? If you remember, it was N factorial by N minus R factorial multiplied by R factorial. This was NCR. What was NPR? It was just N factorial by N minus R factorial. That is why we divide by this R. If I multiply this here, this becomes equal to NCR. Okay. So whenever you have to, let's say you have N things, out of those you have to select R things, you will use NCR. And if you have to arrange these R things, just multiply by R factorial. This R factorial and R factorial will cancel out, and you have this formula, which is nothing but the formula for NPR. So in other words, NPR is equal to R factorial into NCR. This NCR will select things for you. This will select out of these N things, this will select R things for you. You multiply this by R factorial, this R factorial, you arrange these R things. This R stands for arranging the R things. Sorry for the R things for you. So it arranges the R things for you, and then it becomes selection plus arrangement. So this gives you select plus arrange, which is nothing but NPR.